What's up, good people? This your man Jay Free. I see. Jay is free because I can see. We stepping outside the box again, taking our thinking to another level as we address all of the issues and talk about what's the happenings and the goings-ons is in our rounds today. Again, joined by my man Zach in the studio today. We in the dungeon.
How y'all doing?
Chopping it up. Got my man Sam playing in the background. Just wanted y'all to think for a minute. It's been a long time coming, baby, but change is gonna come. Oh yes, it will. Yes sir, yes sir. What's up, good people? Again, it's your man Jay Free. I see. We in the dungeon, chopping it up, talking about what you want to talk about. If you want to be a guest on the show today, or if you just want to call and put in your 2 cents, or even just be a call on the air, listen in. Give us a shout at 215-383-3721. Again, that's 215-383-3721. We are recording live in the dungeon. We have been talking about, is this a white man's world? I just thought we would continue the topic on just because there's so much to be discussed. We're gonna get into some of the current issues going on with that as well. The question that was posed, though, I just wanted to say for the onset, when I asked the question of white man's world, really what we dealing with is perception. You know what I'm saying? Everything, it's actually just to make us think about it for a minute. Just think about the statement for a minute. That's why it's asked with a question mark. Is this a white man's world? The question posed, like I always will talk about, you'll hear me continually say perception is everything. How you view a situation, as I said before, it literally determines your outcome, your response, your reaction. It determines everything. The definition actually of perception, it says that it is the process through which you organize and interpret incoming information. But it also says that that information is influenced by your former beliefs, your former opinions, and bias by information which you have received. So what we want to know is, where do we get our perception? Why do we think what we think? Why do we feel what we feel? Why do we see what we see? And you know what I'm saying? What is it that makes us who we are? Why do we view the world the way that we view the world? So in this context, the question is asked, is this a white man's world? And if so, the question I want to ask is why or why not? Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought that. I really was just asking in general, but I got my man Zach here, so I threw it out there, and then I left it. I didn't mean to throw that at him like that, like a curve. I apologize, my brother. But no, it really is just the general question for all that will be listening. Really, the question is this a white man's world? And if you say it is, why? And if you say it ain't, why not? You understand what I'm saying? But I want to know. I want you to really think perception, depth perception. Understand why it is that you feel what you feel and think what you think. You understand what I'm saying? Is this a white man's world?
Yes. And a lot of that, like you said, goes to perception. And that's like we were talking about yesterday, a simple question you can ask yourself: where do you get your beliefs from? Why do you believe what you believe? You know, go back to the roots of the first time you ever held a belief about anybody else or a culture or religion. Where did you get that influence from?
Yes, sir. Yes,
because that was the root of what you're thinking about, and it affected everything about that idea and that concept from there on out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, one of the things I wanted to throw is most of us, we don't even realize, you know what I'm saying, how much of our daily routine activities have been conditionally programmed within us. We don't realize, just like a soldier have been conditioned and trained to follow the leader, the sergeant, or whoever gives the orders. They've been trained to follow orders without question. Even in the sense of taking somebody else's life or causing massive destruction or damage, they don't question. And they've been trained. There was a process now. From the first day the recruit walked into the army base, he wouldn't just follow orders. There were some things you could have told him to do that he wouldn't have done at first, because he would have had some sense of his own, thought process. He would have been somewhat of a self-thinker, because he wasn't used to that. But then, through the process of training, that's what boot camp is about. There's a process of training, because, see, they understand how the human brain functions and operates. So there's an understanding of how long it takes for the human to process information, and then for certain information to become a routine, to become what they practice. You notice how someone who's been in the military, when they stand, and most of them, they still stand and put their hands behind their back. My brother been out the military over 10 years. He's still, stand like he's a soldier. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something. But now, before he went to the military, I never saw him stand like that. You see what I'm saying? Certain things become formulated in, and habits become, and this is how we become conditioned. And so, just like a soldier can be conditioned, how much of who we are, what we do, what we think, what we feel, has really been conditioned on us. You see what I'm saying?
Are we just a walking condition?
Wow, I like you said that. I like you said that. Because I'm gonna give an example, and I know I ain't always popular, and people really don't like me because I'm not for religion. You know what I'm saying? But I will quote the Bible, and I will use references of Jesus, just in the essence of there's teaching there. You know what I'm saying? And so I just use the example, and I say that because I just wanted to say one of the things that we miss is if those that claim to be Christians and followers of Jesus, they don't even understand about the Christ energy, and they don't even understand because they claim to be followers, but yet they don't even mimic the things that he himself did. And so Jesus' whole thing was about being. We're human beings. We're not human doings. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody is out trying to find something to do in order to substantiate themselves, or to prove themselves, or to this is my title or my accomplishment is what I use to identify myself. So I don't know who I am within. And so therefore I'm a teacher, or I'm a doctor, or I'm a bagger at the grocery store, or I'm a drug dealer, or I'm a, you know what I'm saying? I'm a stripper, I'm a rapper, I'm an actor, I'm a football player.
What are you?
See what I'm saying? And so this is what I'm saying. We doing, but we haven't learned to be. We haven't learned to search the inner person, the inner man, and learn we are human beings. We're not human beings. Doings, you know what I'm saying? And so the question, again, when I said, is this a white man's world? Understanding perception being everything. And that's the question that was posed to the world, was just simply, why do you feel and think what you think? And when you begin to take a moment, stop and think about it, you will begin to realize that I don't know why I think what I think and do what I do. I have been trained and programmed to think what I think and do what I do. My beliefs and feelings and opinions are not even my own. I think they are, but they're not. I don't think independently of myself, because, as I said before, one thing that I know that we have to begin to understand is this is a spiritual warfare. You understand what I'm saying? We're not fighting in the physical. So again, just like spiritual references say, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty, you know what I'm saying, through the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? And so this is spiritual warfare. So we're trying to fight spirit concepts using physical means. And so we have to come to the place where we begin to look and see what's really going on in the spirit. So now we begin to seek spiritual things. Notice where it talks about they that walk after the spirit shall obey the spirit, and they that walk after the lust of the flesh, the things of the flesh. But notice that the flesh and the spirit are at enmity with one another. The flesh and spirit are at war. You see what I'm saying? The flesh has a want and a desire, but the spirit has another desire. Our problem is we have been the state of being comatose and sleepwalking means that we have been placed in a state where we have been lowered. Our vibrational level have been lowered to this dimension, and we only focus on the physical. So the spirit man that exists within is longing and reaching out for us to connect with them, but we don't understand Kundalini chakra. We don't understand meditation. We don't understand any of the real spiritual principles to understand its ascension to this Christ conscious energy. But yet we claim to be followers of a Christ, Jesus, but without any knowledge or understanding. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
You good. The way they condition the mind in this world is to have the spirit going against the flesh, have them going in two different directions, and they should be working together. Let's make it real simple, because you talked about that spiritual warfare, and that's exactly what it is. Let's make it real simple so we can understand it on a simplistic level.
Yes, sir.
The spirit realm is just like the mind. That's how you perceive spiritual things, is through your mind, mental perception.
Absolutely.
So the war is on the mind. It's a psychological warfare. That's the most powerful weapon.
Absolutely.
If I hit you with the right weapon to your mind, I don't need no nuclear bomb. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So where can I hit you in your mind the most? The media, the show, the news. So the stuff people tell you in your little groups or whatever. Be mindful of everything you take in. We have to build a filter for our mind. Just like we filter out our water, we got to filter out our mind. Some of this stuff, they ain't gonna go. They don't work.
Now, I'm glad you just hit on that, brother, because this is how we getting it in. This is what we talking about, the psychological warfare on our mind, and we talking about. You just hit it. That's what we talking about. So much of what we think we know and we feel have been conditioned to us. Mm-hmm. So, I bring up. So now here we are on the back of Steve Stevens. After he just went crazy, you know what I'm saying? But now here we are a day later, and they got Corey Ali, and he out here in Fresno, California, and he supposedly, you haven't heard this one?
I haven't heard this.
Oh man, this is.
I'm scared of watching
this is this morning. Brother, this is. I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning. I read it this morning. So I don't know if it was the name. Ali. The brother's name is Corey Ali, and he in Fresno, California. And apparently, what the report was. Apparently, he done killed 3 white people, and he's screaming Allahu Akbar, and they saying, but the thing is, the brother was wanted for murder for somebody that he apparently killed at a hotel on Friday, and now they posted his picture on the news yesterday looking for him. So in my opinion, it's like, well, they finna get me anyway, so let me go on and but notice what we talking about is the conditioning in the programming. So what I want to hit is look at the imagery being depicted of black men right now. What you think the world image, now they really trying to see, this what I'm saying. It's being conditioned that we an animal. Now this is 2 brothers in back-to-back days that's running crazy with guns.
There's 2 brothers. How many groups of other people been killing people in the last few days?
And see, that's my thing. The thing is, that's my thing. My thing is that's what we saying. It ain't even. It's about. It's just that. Are people really paying attention? Because people so drawn away that this is the conversation. And we got our own people wanting a dialogue about these brothers and talking bad and this and that. And that's what we saying. We got to trace the issue to the root. You know what I'm saying? What is the root of the issue? So mental health is an issue in the black community in a sense, but the mental health issues that we deal with is self-identity, self-esteem, depression. All of these different things stem from lack of knowledge of self. Because we don't know who we are, you know what I'm saying? On the inside, we continue to lash out because, like we said earlier, our identity is in all these other things. So when I'm struggling and when I don't got a big whip and a pocket full of bread and jewelry all on my chest and the string of girls, now my identity, I struggle with my identity. So now I'm lashing out and I'm doing other things.
And then I turn on the news and I look like a killer or a psychopath.
You feel me? When that shouldn't have never been that. everything that is there for you is already for you anyway. It's the system that have designed to hold you down, and that's what I'm saying about the system of racism, white supremacy is real deal. Like Francis Cress Welsing and Neely Fuller Jr. It's real deal, a system, dynamic structure. It is not a game made up. People have to understand. We're not talking about a skinhead running around saying kill niggers. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about every aspect of daily life that is affected by those that would otherwise keep down those of a darker skin you. So there have been in every level, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I posed the question, because what have happened is the system have allowed us to be in a place where we feel like the colors matter and they shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So now we looking at black and white based off of what they done fed us. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Well, really the whole time it's them feeding all of us. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
It's just like, you know, when we go back to, what was that, the 60s with Charles Manson, and we talk about Helter Skelter and them trying to perpetuate a race war. You go back a few months and they had that white dude that went to New York and was trying to, I want to kill all the black men or whatever. It's like, who's writing the script for this? This is really shitty script writing. I could do a better job.
Awesome. And thank you, brother, because that's what I wanted to hit on. That's what I was saying. Right here now in the article in the back, talking about the Corey Ali brother. Right here in the little article, it says 11. This is just the end of the article, but it just says it's likely that Muhammad thought he was taking part in the race war. You see what I'm saying? So I just what you just said is what we talking about. Yeah. It's like you saying, who's writing the script, but people not paying attention. So that's all we're saying when I'm saying the race issue. Yeah. Because what I'm saying is, you see what I mean? It ain't that's irrelevant when we look at what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And so now when I say this, now this is the thing. Now I'm looking past it, but now, excuse me, I promise I mean no offense. I have not one racist drop in my body, but our community is the focus. Now, with that being said, this still holds true. I ain't no cooning. The difference, though, is now this is the problem. White folk, you can't hate me, because when I'm talking about this truth, we're talking about accepting you because of your mistake that you were fed. But that means you have to wake up and realize the lie. And you're going to have to acknowledge your right. You're going to have to acknowledge the place and acknowledge the truth. So we ain't saying that it's going to be peaches and, cream and everything is good, because we understand that y'all don't really want to accept this truth. But it's still the truth that race don't matter. However, melanin plays a key factor and role in the essence of how things operate. This is why that other gene pool, if I could call them people that, this is why them other ones used race as a tool of division and separation in the first place, because there is a power that is attached and associated. I mean, melanin is obvious. It's evident in everything in creation. It's melanin. So you gotta, we don't even gotta go through that. We already, if the sun kills you, then it's if you go in the sun and it burns you and kills you and gives you disease, then you need to check your position if you calling yourself God. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not like I say, this has nothing to do with it. It's not reverse. We dealing with trolls out here. But this is what we saying is race ain't the issue, because the truth is already, it just is what it is. You don't
acknowledging the truth goes a long way, and that's what everybody who's been down here doing on this planet is kind of trying to turn a blind eye to the truth and just seeing what they want to see, and wanting to experience the greatest things in life at the expense of others. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And before we came on air, we were talking about how important this message is, because moving forward, we can't be hate-filled. We have to have an open heart. But that doesn't mean we turn our back on all the bullshit that's happened on history. Because we have to learn from that to move forward in a proper fashion.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're saying. We are an abused child that really is stronger than the parent. We muscle bound children that's been trapped in the basement, but because of the mental abuse, we huddle up when you come down there, and we don't even realize that we just swing our arm, we can knock you through the wall. But because of the fear, or better yet, what's the analogy? It just hit me. The analogy people always give the picture of the elephant, how the elephant has to be trained. You know what I'm saying? No, not even scared of the mouse, but how after the elephant becomes trained, you can tie him to a little bitty tree. Now we know that there's absolutely ain't no tree alive that can hold an elephant, but when you tie him to a little bitty stick, once he becomes trained to that harness stick, that joker will stand still. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we stand, and we've been trained to be in position. So now, I just want to throw this out there when we talk about the programming. I got two little things to throw out there. One of them is Miss Rachel Dozier. I got this off the news. She going to South Africa, and she going to tell about her story. Now, but I found it interesting. That's why I wanted to mention it, bro. Because I really found it interesting. Because as I'm saying, race is not an issue when we can acknowledge and deal with. Now, take it in retrospect now. Because some people really mad and hating. I'm gonna be real with you now. My opinion, I think some people real anger at her is the fact they mad that she got away with it for so long. If her parents didn't tell on her, she would still be a nigga somewhere right now. You see what I'm saying? But do you see what I'm saying though? Like, I think some people's real anger is that she really pulled one over and got away with it. And there's a lot of white folk that would like to be black if they could, you know what I'm saying? But then there's some black folk that really just hate, like, how did she pull the wool over on us like that? But you know how she pulled the wool over on us, man? It's what we saying. Color don't matter. I know for a fact I have white people in my family. And I have some white folk that if you see them, I have some black folk in my family as a result of the mixture. I have some black folk in my family that I guarantee you, if you see them and they do not open their mouth, you will not know that they are black. You will look at them and think that they are Caucasian 100%. But when you say, one of them being my grandma, rest her soul, but when you open your mouth and say, who is that white woman you with, Jeff? When you hear my grandma cuss you out, then you will know, oh, she's not. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's because we're dealing with ethnicity and genealogy and bloodline. And so I brought up the Rachel Dozier just curiously asking, just because now this chick, she wants to be black. She passed herself off, but now she's been ostracized and even cut off from her own community. I'm not saying that we adopt her and that she automatically becomes black, but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is I'm matured to a place where she's just a person to me. Because if she wants to be black that bad, then she obviously poses absolutely no threat to my ethnicity. So because she poses no threat to me, I have no problem with her.
I love you, bro. I'm not feeling that shit, yo. I don't like that shit, bro. And I'm gonna tell you what, I feel you. I feel you. But it's not so much about it's a social context.
I got you.
It's what we've been through as a people.
I got you.
You know, you can't just come on and hop onto an experience and hop on and hop off when it's all cool for you. Like it's a damn outfit or something. You know what I'm saying? Shit don't work like that.
I do feel you. No, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. And that's why, I feel you 100%. And I can't say whether I ain't saying I disagree with you, because I don't disagree. I agree and I feel you.
But we should get to the point where race shit don't matter.
From a personal growth level, real deal, I don't, there's so much that I'm concerned with as a community that I address within our community, real talk, but there's so much that on a personal growth level I don't care nothing about. Because it doesn't affect me. And this is what I'm saying, real deal, when we come to a maturation process, like I say, it's just like somebody that done abused me and done something to me. You know what I'm saying? Once they violated me and have hurt me and have done something to me, but once I have grown and moved past what they have done to me, every time I see them, when I see that junk out on the streets struggling and going through what he going through, Come on, man.
Yeah,
My victory is I'm already, and that's just me. I real deal. I'm blessed with that. I real deal hold no ill will, no.
yeah.
I real deal, and that's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I can be that way. However, I got an anger, but if I'm crossed a certain way, I can snap somebody's neck without even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not exaggerating. Like I'm really passive and just I take it because. If I can understand it, then I can overlook it, and that's the place where I'm at. I understand a lot, cause see, this is the thing. In the real context of what we really dealing with, black and white wouldn't matter. And so, and I'm gonna read this quote. This is real. I'm gonna read this quote. This is what she said. That's why I put it. This is what she said. Race is a lie. How can I be accused of lying about a lie? Now the reason I say that, like I say, I ain't disagreeing with what you're saying. What I'm saying is in the real context of what we dealing with. Everything we dealing with, we can trace it back generations. But there's a root. And at the beginning of that root, when that started, when it began, race didn't exist. There was no such thing as black, white, yellow. There was no such thing. We dealt with ethnicity. We dealt with who you were and where you were from because we all knew our place and who we were. Now, we can go on the next show, we can get into the extraterrestrials and we can get into the beginning and we can get into some real deep development stuff. Because, see, that's what we would have to do. Because when we dealing with race, we that's vibrating too low. If we still talking about black and white, we not elevating to a Christ consciousness. Black and white is irrelevant. In the spirit realm, it does not exist, and this is where we really have to graduate to. I don't care about what she did. She not responsible for her ancestors. Just like the nigga down the street that killed my cousin because they was banging on each other ain't responsible for killing. You see what I'm saying? You can't accuse and pardon one person from the psychological development, but not understand the psychological development of another. We have all been affected by racism, white supremacy as a structured dynamic, but it's because there are those that sit at the top. That's what it is. So it's not white people that I hate, like I say, and experience is the teacher. Our experiences are different. I have white people in my family and I have white people I know. My experience with Caucasians in my life have been horrendous. That's why when I started with what I'm doing, you can look at my YouTube videos. In the beginning, they were full of hate and I was killed whitey too. But in the process of maturation and growth, I have elevated to a place of understanding of my place and understanding the truth. And in the spirit realm, there is no color. So I don't condone, nor do I excuse their actions nor activity. But I understand the psychological development process of how and why it occurred, and I'm trying to get to the root so that we can be better. Because see, in the world going forward, if what you said earlier, I have to disagree. In the world going forward, if you think that we can create an all-black society and we gonna create hate over top of their hate, we gonna fail. That's not gonna succeed.
I didn't say we was gonna do that now.
There's a movie out.
I didn't say we was gonna do that.
There's a movie out called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. It's a 1970s flick. And the movie paints the perfect picture. We cannot defeat hate with hate. That was never the answer. Love is the key. Well, but to walk in true love, I'm going to let you finish. To walk in true love, however, is to embrace and understand all truth in its fullness and entirety. And I got the quote. I had my life. Go ahead.
Right quick, I totally agree with you, brother. I totally agree with you. The thing is, we have to move forward. We can't let these things hold you back. But the thing is, as far as what Rachel Dolezal, all these other little things, we need to respect the social contact. We need to respect things that people have been through. Now, moving forward in love, that doesn't mean you just forget who people are, what they did. It just means you move forward in an intelligent fashion. Yes, I love everybody, but I can't build with everybody.
Now, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I already said, I never said invite her and she get accepted. What I'm saying is I don't care nothing about her. She's not a, I don't have to put her down to ridicule either. She can do what she wants. If she want to sit in the back, she can sit in the back. She don't get to be in the front and lead no more. But if she want to sit in the back, she can sit in the back. She don't affect me or hurt me one way or the other. There's some niggas that's sitting in the front that's trying to shoot me. You understand? understand what I'm saying? So we gotta learn to see with the proper eye. There's some niggas sat on the front that killed Malcolm. There's some niggas sat on the front that there's some niggas on the front that ain't meaning us no good. So I ain't worried about Rachel, because she done already showed her position. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she still gonna stay in the back. But I'm watching everything and everybody. And because I'm not fine-tooth combing just the white folk, but the black folk too, I'm gonna discern and see who's good and who bad. There's two sides. There's light and dark. We can choose which side we on. I'm on the light, and anything I'm in tune with is going to be in the light and love. And that's the truth, and that's what the Spirit has shown me. The real truth does not divide people. It unites people. I could read on to it, but we got to be out of here. Blessings, Big Dog in the lab. Hey, love and blessings, people. J3IC, outside the box, 100. Peace.